All right, folks, on Capitol Hill today, the head of the Joint Chief of Staff, let's just say he had a few words to say to Senator Tom Cotton. Okay, so they had this hearing talking about Afghanistan. Republicans were outraged, and Cotton was like, why didn't you resign over President Joe Biden not taking your advice? This is how Milley responded.
General Milley, I can only conclude that your advice about staying in Afghanistan was rejected. I'm shocked to learn that your advice wasn't sought until August 25th on staying past the August 31 deadline. I understand that you're the principal military advisor, that you advise, you don't decide, the president decides. But if all this is true, General Milley, why haven't you resigned?
Senator, as a senior military officer, resigning is a really serious thing. It's a political act if I'm resigning in protest. My job is to provide advice. My statutory responsibility is to provide legal advice or best military advice to the president, and that's my legal requirement. That's what the law is. The president doesn't have to agree with that advice. He doesn't have to make those decisions just because we're generals. And it would be an incredible act of political defiance for a commissioned officer to just resign because my advice is not taken. This country doesn't want generals figuring out what orders we are going to accept and do or not. That's not our job. The principle of civilian control of the military is absolute. It's critical to this republic. In addition to that, just from a personal standpoint, my dad didn't get a choice to resign at Iwo Jima. And those kids that are at Abbey Gate, they don't get a choice to resign. And I'm not going to turn my back on them. I'm not going to resign. They can't resign, so I'm not going to resign. There's no way. If the orders are illegal, we're in a different place. But if the orders are legal from civilian authority, I intend to carry them out.
Oh! See, that's what happens when you have leaders. Teresa Lundy is principal founder of TML Communications. Dr. Mustafa Santiago Ali, former senior advisor for the environmental justice at the EPA, will be joined later by Amisha Cross. Mustafa, it's so hilarious to listen to these Republicans. Why didn't you resign? It's like, dude, really? Really? I mean, other presidents have made calls where the generals disagreed. This whole notion that, whatever the generals say, let's do, that's how we screwed up Vietnam.
Well, General Milley is a G, and I mean that in every sense of the word. He understands what honor is. He understands what respect is. He also understands his oath. And many seem to be lacking on Capitol Hill in understanding their oath. So to see a man who stands up, who understands that he may be under fire, that the president may disagree with his recommendations, that he's still going to continue to stay in there. He's going to make sure that he's supporting his troops. He's going to make sure that he supports his country, is what you expect out of a general, especially one that is not allowing politics to actually dissuade him or lead him in a different direction. So, I have a lot of respect for General Milley. I know it's not an easy position that he's in, and he's going to make mistakes like everyone else, but you have to give it up to a person who stands on their principle and is willing to stand in the fray.
It really is hilarious to watch Republicans repeatedly, Teresa, try this little silly game of how dare you disagree with the generals. When the fact of the matter is we elect a president to be the commander-in-chief. That's what it's all about. And Republicans are real good at then, when they disagree with an action, then all of a sudden, how dare you?
It's very interesting because Republicans' talking points is all about following the Constitution, following the laws of the land. But when it is in the reverse, you always seem to hear the you're not on the right track or it's not a part of the agenda. So not only is it funny, I find it, kind of disheartening, just even as an American, as we pay our tax dollars into the system, because if we're not listening to the right stance of government as it relates to some of these foreign issues, then I think we're in a very difficult place. So Republicans will continue to allow themselves to act like they are the know-alls of situations versus trying to actually figure out a plan of action so we can get to a better place.
Yeah, it is repeatedly. It's just repeated. The game that they play and just how nonsensical it is. Back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way.
Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
You dig?